The 1983 20-pence coin, a milestone in modern British coinage. In the rich tapestry of British numismatic history, the 1983 20-pence coin holds a special and somewhat quiet significance. At first glance, it may seem like just another addition to the Queen Elizabeth II coinage series, but the story behind this coin touches upon centuries of currency evolution, the changing landscape of British society, the modernization of the royal mint, and the subtle complexities of coin design that balance both tradition and innovation. A nation in transition, Britain in the early 1980s. The early 1980s were a time of profound change in the United Kingdom. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, Britain was undergoing an economic and ideological transformation. Traditional industries such as coal mining and steel production were in decline. Unemployment was rising, and the government was pursuing a neoliberal economic agenda focused on privatization, deregulation, and free market principles. In parallel with these sweeping political and economic shifts, there was also a quiet revolution happening in the nation's currency. The process of decimalization, which had officially begun in 1971, continued to evolve. The traditional pounds, shillings, and pence system had been replaced with a base 10 monetary structure, bringing the UK in line with international standards and simplifying everyday transactions for businesses and citizens alike. However, even more than a decade after decimalization, the system was still being refined. A gap was noticed between the 10 pence and 50 pence coins, a gap not just in monetary value, but in size and usage. The Royal Mint identified a need for a 20 pence coin to provide better granularity in transactions and to improve the efficiency of cash payments. Thus, in 1982 the decision was made, and by 1983, the very first circulating 20p coin was introduced, a groundbreaking shape, the heptagon. One of the most distinguishing features of the 20p coin was its seven-sided shape, technically known as an equilateral curve heptagon. This was not a new concept, as the 50p coin had used the same shape since its introduction in 1969. However, the smaller 20p brought with it a more compact, elegant application of this geometry. The heptagonal design served a critical functional purpose. Its constant width geometry allowed it to roll smoothly through vending machines and coin slots, important considerations in an increasingly mechanized society. But beyond its utilitarian function, the shape gave the coin a unique tactile feel, immediately distinguishable from other denominations in a pocket or coin purse. This was a deliberate choice that reflected the Royal Mint's commitment to accessibility, especially for the visually impaired. Obverse design, the monarch of maturity. The obverse of the 1983 20p coin bears a familiar and dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Mackin R.A. This portrait at first appeared on British coinage in 1968, and though it would later be succeeded by new effigies, it remained in use on some denominations until 1984. Mackin's portrayal of Elizabeth II is notably graceful and classical, depicting the monarch wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a wedding gift from Queen Mary. The portrait is serene, restrained, and slightly idealized, reflecting the monarch's stability and constitutional dignity. At the time of this coin's issue in 1983, Elizabeth had already reigned for over 30 years. Her enduring presence on the coinage served not only as a symbol of national unity, but also as a reassuring reminder of continuity amidst a rapidly changing world. The surrounding inscription reads, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg.F.D.1983. This abbreviated Latin translates to, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Such inscriptions, called legends, are a long-standing tradition on British coinage, connecting the present day to a lineage of monarchs dating back over a millennium. Reverse design, a symbol of heritage. The reverse design of the 1983 20p coin was a work of William Gardner, a skilled engraver and artist with deep ties to the Royal Mint. His design features a stylized depiction of a crowned Tudor rose, which is one of the most potent emblems in English history. The Tudor rose is a heraldic symbol that originated in the 15th century following the end of the Wars of the Roses, symbolizing the union of the red rose of Lancaster and the white rose of York. It stands for peace, unity, and the endurance of the English monarchy. Gardner's execution of the rose is both intricate and balanced, with a royal crown sitting proudly atop the floral design. The denomination, 20, is placed directly below, with the word pence wrapped around the lower perimeter of the coin. The symmetry and clean design make this one of the most visually pleasing coins of its era. Moreover, the Tudor rose's appearance subtly echoes back to centuries of coin design that included similar royal iconography, further rooting the coin in national heritage. Metal composition and specifications. The 1983 20 pence coin is made of copper nickel, a durable and corrosion-resistant alloy consisting of 84% copper and 16% nickel. This alloy had already become standard for British silver-colored coins in the decimal era due to its longevity and practicality for mass minting. The specifications of the coin are as follows. Weight, 5.0 grams. Diameter, 21.4 millimeters. Thickness, 1.7 millimeters. Edge plain smooth. Shape, heptagonal, seven-sided, with rounded corners. These physical attributes place the 20p coin comfortably between the 10p and 50p in size and value, making a logical addition to the coin family. Its smooth edge differentiated it from the milled edge of other coins, aiding in tactile identification. Mintage and circulation. The 1983 20p coin was struck for general circulation with an initial mintage of over 740 million coins, a testament to the expected demand for the new denomination. The coin was accepted quickly and smoothly by the public, vending machine operators and retailers alike, a rare feat for newly introduced coins. Interestingly, no proof coins were struck in 1983 for this denomination, but brilliant uncirculated specimens were included in mint sets produced for collectors. These sets now hold interest for numismatists, especially those looking to acquire early examples in pristine condition. The 1983 issue has no known major errors or varieties, which adds to its identity as a workhorse coin rather than a rarity. Yet, for collectors, its status as the first year of issue gives a special place in any decimal coin collection. Legacy and modern context. Today, the 1983 20p coin continues to circulate in the UK, though many examples have been withdrawn due to wear or accumulation by collectors. Its design was eventually updated in 2008 when the Royal Mint introduced a new reverse series designed by Matthew Dent. In this updated series, the 20p coin now features a portion of the royal shield, and the obverse now bears later portraits of Queen Elizabeth II. However, the 1983 coin remains fully legal tender, and its unique blend of utility, history, and design means it often turns up in pocket change, an unassuming relic of Britain's late 20th century transformation. For collectors and historians alike, it's more than a coin. It's a tactile fragment of a time when the nation was rethinking its past, redefining its future, and yet still holding on to the enduring values of monarchy, unity. The 1993 20 pence coin, a numismatic journey through time and symbolism. The 1993 UK 20 pence coin, bearing the image of Queen Elizabeth II, represents more than a small unit of currency. It is a token of the evolution of British coinage, a product of modern minting technology, and a symbol of continuity in a changing political and economic landscape. Though seemingly humble in appearance and value, this coin serves as a window into the culture, craftsmanship, and royal traditions of the United Kingdom at the twilight of the 20th century. A short history of the 20 pence coin. To understand the 1993 20 pence coin, we must step back to 1982, the year the denomination was first introduced into circulation. Prior to that, Britain's coin system, which had undergone decimalization in 1971, lacked a coin between the 10p and 50p. The 20p filled this gap. It was part of a gradual modernization effort by the Royal Mint to ensure the UK coinage matched the needs of people, both in commerce and ease of use. The 20 pence coin was distinct from the beginning. It was seven-sided, or more precisely, equilateral curved heptagonal, like the 50p coin. This made it instantly recognizable by touch, a boon for the visually impaired and a practical feature in daily transactions. The heptagon also lent the coin an air of modernity while preserving a dignified symmetry, which aligns with the UK's approach to balancing tradition and innovation. The obverse, the Queen's portrait. The obverse front of the 1993 coin features a right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklauf. This was the third official effigy of the Queen to be used on UK coinage, and it appeared on coins from 1985 to 1997. Maklauf's portrait depicts the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a regal crown historically associated with British coinage, and used by queens regnant since the reign of Queen Victoria. The choice of crown and the highly stylized, somewhat idealized depiction of Elizabeth was Maklauf's attempt to combine timeless dignity with a youthful, graceful appearance, even as the Queen approached her 60s. This portrait was sometimes criticized for its smooth, almost sculptural perfection, but it was also praised for its clarity and presence. Around the portrait is the legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1993. This Latin inscription stands for Elizabeth II, Queen Elizabeth II, DG Reg FD De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor. Translated, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This formulation has appeared on British coinage for centuries, a tradition dating back to the 16th century when Henry VIII was declared supreme head of the Church of England, breaking with Rome. The Fidei Defensor, Defender of the Faith, title was originally granted to Henry by the Pope, but was later repurposed to reflect the monarch's position in the Anglican Church. The inclusion of Latin preserves a sense of heritage and solemnity, even in a modern coin like the 20 pence. The year, 1993, is also notable. Situated after the upheaval of the 1980s, and just before the radical political and cultural shifts of the late 1990s. The reverse, a heraldic rose. The reverse back design of the coin is equally rich in symbolism. It was created by William Gardner, a Royal Mint engraver known for his clean, heraldically informed work. It depicts a Tudor rose, a symbol deeply embedded in British identity. The Tudor rose combines the white rose of York and the red rose of Lancaster, symbolic of a union of two warring houses at the conclusion of the Wars of the Roses in the 15th century. It represents unity, continuity, and national pride. The rose is encircled by the legend, 20 pence, and the denomination is shown numerically beneath the rose, 20. The typography is crisp and unadorned, echoing a functional design ethos. Gardner's decision to place the rose in the center of the coin with the denomination below, it makes the reverse both symmetrical and instantly legible. Metal composition and physical details. Composition: copper nickel, 84% copper, 16% nickel. Weight: 5.0 grams. Diameter: 21.4 millimeters. Thickness: 1.7 millimeters. Shape: heptagonal, 7 sides, equilateral curved. Edge: plain, no inscription. The coin's composition and design are carefully calibrated. Copper nickel was chosen for its resistance to wear and corrosion, ensuring that even after decades in circulation, the coin retains its luster and legibility. The 7-sided shape, unique among world coinage, prevents confusion with other denominations and allows vending machines to recognize it reliably. Historical and cultural context of 1993. In 1993, Queen Elizabeth II was in the 41st year of her reign. The UK was navigating post-Thatcher economic realignments, and the monarchy itself was under increased media scrutiny due to the personal lives of the royal family. Though not a royal crisis year, 1993 followed the Queen's infamous Annus Horribilis, 1992, which had seen the separation of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, a fire at Windsor Castle, and public criticism of royal expenditures. The coinage of the time, however, stood apart from controversy. Coins such as the 20 pence were anchors of national identity, symbols of a stable, ancient monarchy in a time of public flux. They were also tools of daily commerce, handled by millions without a second thought, yet carrying layers of history, authority, and craft. Minting and circulation. The Royal Mint, headquartered in Lanchester, South Wales, has produced UK coinage for over 1,100 years. In 1993, the mintage of 20 pence coins was approximately 83 million, though exact numbers vary slightly depending on sources. This made the coin a common sight in circulation, not rare, but certainly a key part of daily life. The 2006 20 pence, 20p, coin featuring the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II holds a modest yet notable place within the vast tapestry of modern British coinage. To understand the particular coin's significance, one must step back to appreciate not only the circumstances of its minting in 2006, but also the broader historical, cultural, and economic framework in which the 20 pence piece has existed since its introduction. The 20p coin was first issued in 1982, a time when the United Kingdom was experiencing social and economic transformation under the leadership of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. The denomination was introduced as part of a rationalization of the coinage system, following decimalization in 1971, when the UK officially transitioned from the old poundesd, pounds, shillings, and pence, to a decimal-based system where 100 pence equaled £1 sterling. The introduction of the 20p coin was a response to the growing need for a denomination between the 10p and 50p pieces, particularly as inflation in the late 1970s and early 1980s had eroded the value of the penny. The coin itself was designed to be seven-sided, technically called an equilateral curved heptagon, a shape already familiar to the public due to the earlier 50p coin. This shape allows for easy identification by touch, especially beneficial for the visually impaired, and it permits the coin to roll uniformly in vending machines and automated tills, an essential feature in the age of growing mechanization and commerce. By 2006, the coin had been in circulation for over 2 decades, yet remained largely unchanged in both design and purpose. The reverse design at this time still bore the iconic crown Tudor rose motif by artist William Gardner, a design first used in 1982. The crowned rose is a deliberate symbol of unity and sovereignty, drawing from Tudor imagery that was associated with the unification of warring dynasties, the houses of York and Lancaster, through the marriage of Henry VII and Elizabeth of York. The rose surmounted by a crown speaks directly to monarchy and national identity, firmly anchoring the coin's symbolism in British heritage. The obverse of the 2006 20p coin features a fourth definitive portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, created by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley and introduced in 1998. This effigy is notable for its realism and maturity. Unlike previous portraits which idealize a monarch's features, Rank Broadley's design showed a more lifelike, stately queen in her 70s, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most frequently worn and recognizable royal accessories. The inscription surrounding the portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg, FD 2006 inch, which stands for Elizabeth II Dei Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This formula, deeply rooted in the British monarchy's ties to both divine authority and the Church of England, has graced coins since the days of Henry VIII and has been maintained as a matter of tradition. The 2006 20 pence piece is composed of copper nickel, a durable alloy consisting of 84% copper and 16% nickel. The coin weighs 5 grams, measures 21.4 millimeters across, and, like all UK 20p coins of the period, is seven-sided and non-magnetic. These features were specifically engineered to ensure consistency with the coin's use in machines, cash registers, and public transit systems. The Royal Mint, the institution responsible for producing the UK's coinage, struck tens of millions of 20p coins in 2006 for circulation, making a common date in terms of mintage. Unlike certain low mintage years or error coins, such as the famous 2008 undated 20p, the 2006 issue is not especially rare, but remains a faithful representative of British coinage at the start of the 21st century. The year 2006 itself was a relatively stable and ceremonial time for the British monarchy. Queen Elizabeth II, already into her 54th year on the throne, was maintaining a high level of public engagement and continuity, with her 80th birthday celebrated in April of that year. The Royal Mint's decision to continue using Rank Broadley's portrait and the established Tudor rose reverse design in 2006 was both a mark of conservatism and stability, a reflection of the enduring constitutional role the monarch played. Indeed, the coin can be seen as a physical token of national cohesion, serving millions of Britons every day in shops, buses, vending machines, and daily transactions, all while carrying the monarch's image and the timeless symbolism of the rose and crown. Numismatically, the 2006 20p coin does not attract a high premium in the collector's market due to its high mintage and lack of notable varieties. However, its value lies not merely in scarcity or silver content, but in what it represents. A continuation of a historic line of coinage, a symbol of enduring monarchy, and a piece of the fabric of British everyday life. It stands as a humble artifact of its time, bridging centuries of coinage tradition with modern British identity. It is the kind of coin that passes anonymously through thousands of hands, yet when studied closely, reveals layers of artistry, symbolism, governance, and the very essence of what it means to live in the era of Queen Elizabeth II. In this way, the 2006 20 pence coin is far more than just a small piece of metal. It is a circulating monument to a nation, its monarchy, and the quiet dignity of everyday commerce under the reign of one of Britain's longest-serving sovereigns.